bit later on, but we can focus in on our next matchup, which is going to be a massive game for Panic. This is an incredibly tough ask to go head-to-head, toe-to-toe with Team Bliss, but if any roster could potentially cause an upset, I have absolutely no doubt. This is going to sound wild. I have no doubt it's going to be Panic Dev. They have seriously shocked all of us.
Yeah, I've been super impressed by Panic this stage. They were my favorite dark horse team coming in, and we already saw that so early on when not only did they have a really good fight against Man Esports, the former Mammoth roster that were looking like one of the best teams in the region, in their second play day, they took down 6 targets, who we hyped up to be massive, and then they were the first team to beat Odium as well. And Odium are currently looking like the second best team in this league. They also took down CS after Circular Spheres fired up and started having some big games. Really the only black mark on this team's record is getting smashed by Antic 7-0. But since then we've seen them bounce back. And if they can take some points off of Bliss today, it completely changes the conversation.
Mandy, Karma is currently the best player in the league that is not on Team Bliss.
That does not surprise me at all. Yeah, Karma's been pretty crazy for this team, but I think that's both the strength and the weakness in a way as well. I think there are days where if Karma doesn't show up in a round, then the round looks pretty over, to be honest. And yeah, I think Reelers has been showing up a lot as well for this team, but I think for the most part it's been a massive spotlight on just one player, which I think can be quite scary.
Yes.
When you look at team dynamic. Sean seems pretty confident about it from the last time that we interviewed him. He seems to think that the sort of like 4 supports to 1 entry fragger like ratio is enough to like, you know, claim your grip on the round, but I think they need to be more rounded in general as a team to be able to look a bit more competitive there.
Well, to look competitive against Bliss, every player is going to have to turn up, and Bliss are going to have an off day, which just does not seem to happen very often. It's once in a blue moon we see this roster not firing on all cylinders, Dev, but to be fair, they are currently looking the most dangerous that I think we've ever seen.
Yeah, they've really come into their own in the last year. It's been a long road, but yeah, even you compare it to Stage 2 last year, you compare it to Stage 1 last year, they're a different beast now. While they are not flawless, technically, they are still undefeated. They lost 1 point to Odium, but we're in the context now where like Bliss lose 1 point and we're like, oh my god, Odium must be amazing. Yeah. And that's just a testament to where this team is right now. They are the undisputed best team in this region. We already know that they will make it to playoffs in first seed, and I think everyone would be surprised if they don't go to Manchester. So great, yeah, you take some big wins here or there, but you also got to nail down the smaller targets. And let's be honest, like Panic are one of they are the lowest seeded team coming into this league at the start. They're certainly not the lowest anymore. Team Bliss should be able to dispatch with them quite handily.
A 110 EPS average across the entire roster, man. He probably tells the story best. Even if you just move out the win rate discussion, Bliss are just undeniably that far ahead at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from the way that Bliss has seemed to have interpreted the league as well, the biggest challenge for these guys is actually readjusting back into the brand of OCE, right? Like, yes, their performance is incredible, but it is because they're an international team, right? When they come back into OCE League, they've got to play against a completely different brand of Rainbow Six. A Rainbow Six that's a lot more fundamental based, a lot slower, right? And if there's any team that you need to make the biggest adjustment back to, it's probably going to be this one, right? Where you're playing against 4 support players and 1 guy that's going to walk at you. That's where you just, you know, need to dial it back a bit, like play at the same pace of these guys and just, you know, make sure that you have control of the game.
Well, let's start to have a look at player head-to-head. One that I think is incredibly intriguing. It is, again, if you remove Oda, if you remove Wettables, these are the 2 best players in the league, Dev, and I think that that's well and truly warranted.
Yeah, you got the best player in the league that's not on Bliss and the best player in the league that is on Bliss,
yes.
Right? And yeah, they also hold quite a similar role in that they're very much like entry fraggers. They're very much the tip of the spear in these attacks, and often they can unlock rounds for their team, particularly with Karma. Obviously, Brendo's got quite an institution around him. The rest of Bliss, very capable on their own. And you can say that to some degree with Panic, but Karma is undeniably the X factor that gets them across the line in so many rounds. And you see that in like his KD 1.25. You see that in his EPS. But there's one interesting stat that's not picked it here, and I want to look at that. It's the survival rate. Now, Karma only survives 18% of the rounds in the game, and guess what? That is the lowest in the entire league. of any player in the league that has played more than just like filling in, like OJ, for example, he has the lowest survival rate. And that shows what his role is like. Brendo also has a very low survival rate, but it's up at 28%. So that's one thing that makes a big difference between these two players. Karma, high risk, high reward player, but when he goes down early, we've seen the rest of Panic crumble.
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest difference, right, Mandy? When you look at both of these teams, as you were mentioning, one has a very particular play style that relies on a solo, whereas Bliss seem to be able to pick up the slack no matter who's in the server.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Team Bliss are probably the most rounded team in the entire league by like a country mile, for sure. Even when you compare them to teams like that these days, the Odium roster are also another very rounded team. Even the Antic roster with Tuhan moving into his role. Nevertheless, this team of 5, you have 5 players that all do their job super well, but all their jobs are vastly different, right? And that's the big thing about this team. Whereas I think it's hard to say the same thing for Panic, and that's the main difference.
And the what is incredibly important for all of us to mention here on the desk is how one-sided the conversation has to be going into the game. That can obviously change once we're in the server and we see how this plays out. But unfortunately, I would say this is like a 95-5 kind of split. Like it's, you know, and that's not a dig at Panic. Everyone knows that I am on the Panic bandwagon at the moment, but Bliss are just on another level and they're going to have to do it on Chalet, which is, I don't really like it for Panic because this is by far one of the most dangerous maps we see for Bliss. However, I'm still going to be a little bit of a Panic simp.
Did you pick Panic, by the way, for this game?
No, I didn't.
I seriously considered it.
Yeah, I will always pick against, like, I will always pick for Panic until it's Team Bliss.
Yeah.
I will meme until it's Team Bliss because Team Bliss, they're a little bit terrifying. But we are ready for the game. So do you have any last prediction?
Look, I will say, just as one consolation, like Panic are good on this map. They beat 6 targets here. They almost took Man LFO to overtime here. Probably Bliss's best map or one of their best maps, but Panic, just show us what you got.
Mandy?
Yeah, I think this is important for Panic to look as competitive as possible, try and bring that round difference as close as possible, and stave off elimination, because 6T is coming up next, and if 6T get even 1 point, even if they lose in overtime, could be over.
We'll let the boys talk about the permutations, but now it is time to get underway. Fly away, little birdie.
Fly away, little birdie. From Monday, is it almost Tuesday tomorrow, isn't it? We've got a special team coming up as well, and I think you got a special little dance.
No, I'm
Come on.
No.
Oh, he's a camera.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
camera
it.
shy.
Special teams, special plays, special players. Tuesday. Let's get into the game before I lose my job. Thank you.
Oh, he did it. To be fair, well done, guys. Well done.
I'm very embarrassed.
You should be.
That is the most embarrassing
Well,
moment in my
you
career.
made it more embarrassing by being embarrassed in the first place. If you had just done it like Rob, it would have been fine. Rob pulled it off. Rob's not embarrassed. Either way, let's get into this game. Team Bliss versus Panic. 83% of you think Bliss are going to win. I agree with 83% of you. The other 17%, you guys are losers.
What? Jesus.
That
was very harsh.
I will retract that statement. You guys are mega losers because you're going to mega lose this game. Panic, no chance, surely, here against the top dogs of Oceania. It's Team Bliss on Chalet of all maps as well. And even further compounding it, they're on the defense.
I think you've set the stakes very well in this match, Jake. You've done your job. Good stuff. Pat yourself on the back. Okay, I forgot you're in your 30s now, so it's a bit, it's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, that was hard.
Ash off the board first. So an intriguing potential target ban, I suppose, there from Team Bliss, probably onto Karma on the entry. Looking to make that maybe a little bit more uncomfortable for him. Response with Grim from Panic. So no Hard Breach, no Thatcher, no Dockerby. So a little bit unusual there in terms of the attacking bans. Defensively, we know there's a very strong chance that Bliss will ban the Solace. If not Solace, it will be Tuberau. And so Panic will know that heading into the game, and they elect to deal with a bit of information bulk off the board. Do Bliss go for something more unorthodox? Keep in mind that they are already
Solace.
confirmed for first.
Solus.
And it is...
Solus.
Solus, yes.
Solus.
I can see on wet screen.
Is that Paul?
Maybe.
Don't think so. Now, you did actually play against Wettables last night. How did he perform?
I distinctly remember we're playing Oregon, and I normally play bunker. And I decided to aggress a bit rear stage, try and play first.
No,
try and chip away at drones.
Nah.
Wet throws out a drone, shoot it with my SMG, and whilst I switch back to my shotgun, boom, he's in my face, and I died.
Hey, you learned a lesson, though.
No, I did. Guns up.
Guns up.
Yep.
And that's exactly what Panic are going to need to do in this opening half. Attacking first on Chalet against Team Bliss. They finally get their opportunity. Long have they been waiting all 7 play days to get here and take on the big dogs to test themselves to the fullest and highest degree. For Panic Esports, well, in a unique position here where there's probably not much they can do in terms of their survival. One, they were completely let down by Antic earlier today. Had Antic just won and won comfortably, I mean, Panic actually would have been confirmed top 6 going into this game. They wouldn't have had to have done anything at all. But with that comeback win from Circular Spheres, they now are equal on points with Panic, which means if Panic lose this, well, their round differential is going to be worse, which means they are then below Circular Spheres. They would then be totally reliant in the final game to come after this. That man would have to beat 6 targets. So, again, unless they win, there's nothing they can do to help their round differential, realistically.
Yeah, certainly one of those cases where you want fate in your own hands, but unfortunately, your final match of the season is against by far and away the best team in the league. So, Panic find themselves in a difficult situation, but I think especially starting out on attack, it's just a case of chipping away round by round and seeing what they can get done. Bliss are not perfect. They certainly can have weaknesses at times, but their defensive win rate is incredibly strong. It's a stack outside the objective currently from Panic, looking to, I think, oversimplify the push, get library control, probably hit double window, and ensure that then no one can retake from up above. Lurk potential as well through Snowmobile with the breach open up. I like this from Panic. They're not going to play into the extensive roam.
Yeah, but if you go direct and you don't clear towards office, library, hallway, piano, then the flank is there for the taking for Bliss. They can also then get top library control again later in the round. Super aggressive here from Fisho. Just hits the bomb chassis, glasses to deny the flash. He goes for the swing, loses his battle to Karma. I mean, that's a real good opening start. The second will peak, Oda will go down. Karma Esports is a real beast. If Panic are ever going to enter the realm of possibility in thinking they could upset Bliss tonight, it's going to be off the back of Karma. That's a perfect start. Oh, gets rid of the Frostmat, into Mud with the entry. The flash into the hallway meant he couldn't really get swung on. That flash is not going to quite do it. It's a double kill from Brenda with an Nitrocell. Onto Owen and Sean. F.Mine does activate. They actually went straight in towards half wall looking for the default plan. Brendo playing well inside of bar stock. Hit a beautiful Nitrocell, as you can, well, pretty clearly see from the overview as to what actually transpired. Real is outside. Karma's trying to make some work, make some magic in towards Mudroom.
Yeah, 60 seconds now for Panic. An opportunity to reset. Drones available so they can gather info, but Diffuser not in the hands of this team. They likely need to post one up above for the vert threat. That's River currently. And Reelers is going for, I believe, the lurk up fireplace. So they can probably look to pinch out backstore here. Brendo's in a high-risk position, but high reward if he can lock it down.
35 seconds. Yeah, that Nitrocell was so pivotal. Brando finds a third. On for the ace, but Sage is probably in a great position. He's got the quad. And they know he's in Mud, so he's locked in. Every world in which Wettables and Sage get out of the way and give Brendo an opening round ace. They say to him, go get your ace, son. And he finds it. For a player that is starting to be labeled the best in the region.
Well, I'll put an asterisk on that. Others are labeling him as the best in the region, not you, which is good.
Well, I mean, I said starting to be labeled. You know, I didn't say by me.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Because the moment you label him, he has a 3-month expiration date.
Yeah, it's over for him. Not now, but soon.
Eventually. Clean ace, though. Double Nitro off the rip. Then, whether off information or not, was able to deny the lurk. And information on the final player meant it was as easy as that. Panic, again, they tried to simplify the push. And Karma got the first 2. But the clutch factor from Bliss and every individual player on this team possessing that particular feature, it's just so difficult to close rounds out.
Yeah, and I do wonder, though, we didn't get to see it, but Owen was playing the ace and Sean was playing the Capitao. Actually, 2 operators, I think, that could deal with Barstock pretty decently. So I don't know if they just went for a hurried push. I imagine smoke plant was the objective there rather than looking to deal with the mirror window. Even if you do deal with that mirror window and you just go off the smoke, the Nitrocell's a great counter. Everyone knows that where the half wall is. So I think maybe they could have just slowed that round down a little bit. They had a good position inside of Mud. Try to clear that player outside of Barstock. They got top library control. Could have gone definitely for a bit more of a conservative approach, but hey, when Karma's finding 2 early frags, you kind of want to play off it, so I do understand. Second round, second opportunity. And a 5-0 start on the side of Brendo for Team Bliss. Certainly one of the most talented players in this region. It's been around for quite a while now, actually. But just this moment, this time, feels like it's his time to be considered one of the best.
So basement then for the second round. Let's see how Panic can find themselves in this game. The onus on them to perform. Bliss essentially with nothing to play for outside of treating this as a glorified scrim. And off the back of the ace, Brendo happy to play quite aggressive through that west main stairs position. Karma going horizontally as opposed to looking for vert. I suppose Shont on the ram, that will be his primary objective, currently outside breach. River can cook Candelas, and again, we might see Panic elect to go very deep, very early. Diffuser in the hands of Owen, looking for that plant. Plant now going down. What's the response from Bliss? Well, it's absolutely spot on. Fisho for 1, and Brendo falls elsewhere, so Realers has gotten value. Wedables allowed, though, to reposition at the minute 30 point of the round. Gas Babes go out. Diffuser still on an island near that breach.
Yeah, a lot of time. This is, again, the pacing for Panic is good. I very much applaud the pacing, but Bliss are the kind of team that's certainly going to be a far more ready and active for these fast pushes. Wedables gets a nice kill there into River, and that's the Ying taken off the board. No Candelas, which would have really aided Panic in being able to retrieve that kit. They're going to have to find other avenues, and they definitely have the time to do so. You think about sort of what these top teams do in terms of their pace shifting. Fabian, a big believer in that. You know, you go fast early and then you kind of slow it down, then you go fast again. Karma losing that battle, bot west main stairs, and that really hinders the round now.
Well, Shon's been inside of Con for a long time, and he just hasn't gotten value from this position.
I think he would have been waiting for Karma.
Yeah.
Now he has to go by himself. As evident by the push, swing over towards Shelf. I do wonder if Real has tried to push off that, but the flames are still up, not extinguished just yet. At no point was he ever really able to get involved and help out. They were essentially 2 players individually separated. Good little double kill from Sage over towards Blue. Good for the confidence. Great start from Team Bliss. But certainly the kind of rounds that at least Panic have looked, yeah, somewhat decent. They're making good headways. They're getting some decent kills. The kit itself is getting towards site, but it's just not being planted.
Yeah, I think in terms of execution and confidence, in terms of confidence and game plan from Panic, it's actually quite sound. It's just the execution gets exposed, and it's because they're versing Team Bliss, who are extremely ruthless. You don't have one position held for a fraction of a second, or you don't land a trade within a certain window, both of which we saw in that round. Plant then denied, and then Shont not being able to activate in Con. It just kind of falls apart in the end, ultimately. Another good double kill from Team Bliss. That occasion, Sage held that position in Blue nicely. Once that cross was broken, he was given some free reign very deep in the round. So good start from Bliss. Their defensive win rate holding up at the moment.
Yeah, no kills in that round for Brendo, so they're showing the love after getting the ace in the opening round. Far more of a spread. A big change up for Panic. They bring the Jackal this round, help facilitate a little bit of that roam clear. Anticipation that Bliss are going to hold firmly off-site, or at least certainly track down and clear certain positions a little bit more comfortably with the Inox scanner. No kills yet for Oda. It's not quite been his stage compared to 2023, but he hasn't really been needed to play at his absolute best. Karma, once again, swift entry in towards Big Garage. 2 kills in the opening round, 1 to follow up in the second. Certainly the most influential player on this roster when we talk about teams that are either well-rounded or are solo players, they're superstar, or they've got a duo. For Panic, unfortunately, it really is a case of a solo superstar, but he does have 4 really solid teammates. Karma shines brighter than the rest.
Yeah, he has been playing this buck roll now for a couple of rounds, and so it's not only frags that he's trying to get value from, but also vertical pressure. Once again, the Ying in play as well. Bliss not electing to play the Warden into that. Fortunately, Panic probably haven't gotten as much value from the flashes. they were expecting or wanting thus far. Karma will like West Main. Probably looking to connect with the solar push later on in the round. Reelers with the Inox scanner can ensure that nobody is lurking down below from Team Bliss. And as we can see on the overhead, everybody up above. Oda will be the first to play contact on that solar push. He's just being conscious of the cross through the window at the moment. Also, the vertical down
he's
below.
trapped. So he's trapped right now. They've got him below, they've got him from solar, and they've got him outside bathroom. This might be the game plan, I think, right now for Panic's perspective, is to see if they can flush out Oda inside a bathroom. Can't really cross back towards Piano, and he certainly can't go through solar.
Well, it's weakened now with Brendo dying. He was holding the cross.
Oh,
So
nice
Oda has to
little
advance.
Oh, they got no idea. They got no idea of the timing of the smoke. He does jump down. Now they should certainly know that he's around trophy stairs. Never mind. Owen shot the back. One still on the rappel side. Sean did get a double kill. He's got 3 in the round. Oda's still stuck over towards trophy stairs. I think there might have been one pushing him behind him, but there is a down onto Reelers. Oda trying to really get involved as the last one alive. He has somehow been the one that dies last, despite the fact that he was inundated with pressure to begin and to close in that round. Panic get themselves a real solid round win. Shant gets himself 3 in the round. Some really good gunplay from Panic, and they are on the board.
Yeah, clean round. We highlighted it, you mentioned it. That Oda position was really critical in fortifying the solar side of the map. He was getting help from Brendo. Now, Brendo was in that piano hallway position. You could see his outline left of screen from Oda's perspective, providing a bit of pressure and support so that nobody could directly contest Oda from the window position. He lost that fight. And from that point onwards, we saw Panic really snowball momentum in the round, then clear key positions. Oda was forced to make a play because he knew that he was about to get, yinged out, pressured out. Wasn't a whole lot he'd be able to do if he played static. And, despite maybe having that small window of opportunity to hit the flank, ultimately with the rappel still being held, he couldn't actually retake into that position. So, real solid from Panic. Again, the first 3 rounds, the first rotation, the macro and the confidence we're seeing, really good. It's just been small things in terms of execution, which they tidied up that time around and looked quite positive. So, we'll see for Panic. I think 2 rounds here will be, a pretty solid half, and they can build off that.
Yeah, I tend to agree. The unfortunate reality for Panic is this could end up being the kind of game where they show good face, they're competitive, it's a 7-4 loss. Unfortunately then, other results don't quite go their way and they end up eliminated, unable to play the playoffs, unable to qualify for Manchester. And it's the reality, a very harsh one that they face unless they pull off the miraculous. Now I should say that a win for Panic actually does lock them into top 6. So they do have that going for them if they can find a way to pull off the upset. Now, the question is, what if they get this to overtime in any form? Does even just sending it to OT guarantee them a place in the top 6?
No, because 6 targets could draw them on 10 points with a regulation win. It would come down to round differential. Put me a bit on the spot there in terms of
that's
numbers,
fine.
But Panic are
Well,
currently...
Circular Spears are on 9, but the round differential doesn't quite work for Panic, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, if they won in OT, they'd be ahead by 3 points. 6 targets could draw them, but defeat them on round diff.
Yeah. I was just more so thinking sometimes we get to these kind of scenarios and an overtime loss can typically get you that one solitary point, but not to be for Panic. A win, either in OT or in regulation, would get you top 6, but only a win. Nothing else. Other than that, would then, need to wait on that result later. In the game to come after this, 6 targets. Sage holding top library stairs behind deployable shield. Edibles from the other end of the corridor at the mezzanine. Breaks the own mirror window so they can actually slip in towards top library, expecting to lose Mez control. Smart. The little things. Just over a minute remaining. A little bit of a different angle now looking in towards that piano position. And actually breaks as he can play it both ways, and he's just messing around with the window that he doesn't watch the push up towards the mezzanine. It's an easy swing. They also clear top library and should get this kill onto Oda. A lovely pinch here from Panic has got them into a tremendous position to take part games now in this 4th round. 5 versus 3. Certainly still got to clear power positions like Bardstock, but they've got the vert.
Yeah, man, it's not every day of the week against Team Bliss you'll get control that easy through Mez and top library stairs. They need to be mindful, though, that Bliss do not retake.
Oh, no, Shant. You have to be ready for anything. Sage with a slow lurk up, library stairs, and just throws that spanner in the works for Panic despite their great start. Kentala does get thrown out, and Karma finds the kill onto Fisher Guy. It's down to the brothers. 3 versus 2, Sage and Brendo. To clutch up here for Team Bliss, Brendo will fall. Now Sage has to do what Brendo did before and clutch up big. 10 seconds left, over towards Barstock. Kit in the hands of Karma, going for the plant inside of Bar. Sage, he can't do anything. He's just full white. No way he can play with these Candelas in his face, getting shot left, right, and center. Plant will go down successfully, watched and guarded by Owen. And Panic find a second attacking round already.
Yeah, they threw that extension into disarray with simple tactics there, really, from the attack of Panic. Mezzanine fell apart quite quickly. Wedables, I think it was, succumbed to that pressure. And then we saw top library stairs break down pretty quickly as well. So I'm not entirely sure what the game plan was there from Bliss, if they wanted to forfeit that relatively early and they got caught on the peel. Or perhaps things just didn't go to plan and Panic threw something at them that they didn't expect, maybe a bit too much fireplace pressure, for instance. Good though from Panic, they reached that 2-round benchmark that I was alluding to. I wasn't necessarily expecting it to be that quick, that sound.
I think they could go for more right now.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I think they're with every chance that they could just kind of find this momentum, well, they've certainly found that, and just run with it. Not a whole lot of pressure. Obviously for Team Bliss, they don't have to play at their very best, but they certainly wouldn't want to be losing going into the playoffs. Already a team that has had some blemishes after getting sent to overtime, was it Monday last week? So an OT win into then a loss to close out the group stage wouldn't really be the run that Bliss would like into the playoffs. So getting challenged here on Chalet, 2 rounds to go in the half, 2-2 scoreline. It's great for Panic, but they need a win. Otherwise, their destiny, their playoffs out of their hands, and will be in the hands of 6 targets and man LFO to come for what will be the final game of this playday after this match. Swift entry once again. Karma not wasting any time through Wine.
Yeah, Karma's had a definite shift in role this match. I don't know how much of that is in response to the Ash ban, but I would have thought maybe you just jump on the Yana and lurk around, but looking to get value with the Verd on the Skeleton Key, I don't necessarily hate that. Can set up more playmaking opportunities for himself, the rest of the team, and it's still a threat that Team Bliss need to be mindful of. On top of that, he's still mounting kills, 5 and 2. You take that every day of the week. 2 minutes remain in this round. Air jab's deployed elsewhere, so Sean for flank watch. Again, we see the Yana, the Ying in play. So flashes will once again be impactful, and we saw that deep into the previous round. Reels with his final logic bomb to come through. Candela's cooked. They'll flash. Karma's already through West Main. He now has side control.
Direct.
Nice.
Second one found as well. Double for Karma. Entry from down below towards West Main. That's a flick up towards the head of Sage. What a shot from Karma. 8 and 2 already. Going up against the best. He's playing like the best. 4 versus 2 and Panic looking to take the lead. Fisher Guy. It's a scrappy fight looking to shoot down below. Keeps most of his life intact. And Oda, this is the moment where he's got to now rise to this occasion. River's going for the plant, watching the hatch. Karma doesn't really whiff that often. Got most of the shots, and Sean was able to finish it off onto Fisher. Oda's the solo in a 1v4. Bliss are about to be down unless Oda can clutch big, finds the first kill onto Real as Karma, River, both low. But position is known and hard to push forward. Not a lot of time. Karma, even though he's full white, kept pushing. Holds off. There's not much that Oda can do, but eventually swings and gets the kill onto Karma. 16 seconds. And one still above in the hatch. It didn't matter. West Main Stairs is where River was holding. And Panic Esports have got the lead. And they've got a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I think they've had confidence throughout the entire match, but now those dots are really connecting. And I think Karma being put on that lurk buck role has been really fruitful for them. We saw it in that last round. There was a clear pocket of space through West Main. No one holding it. Gets that free kill onto Brendo, who was unsuspecting of that. Wedables gets the call. Arguably then tries to reposition to maybe trade it and gets caught out as well. So the good times rolling here for Panic currently. Really sharp there from Karma. Just has the ability to hit pretty strong mechanical shots. And then the presence of mind to look straight up above. Denies both trading opportunities there from Team Bliss. It's one of their big strengths among many. And so, yeah, really solid work there from Karma. 3 rounds for Panic. Again, to reiterate, the stakes for Bliss in this match, very, very low. They're already locked into first place. Nothing about this game is going to change that. But certainly from the perspective of Panic, potential here for a bit of an upset. 3 points towards the standings as well will do them a world of good. They'll ensure that they qualify for the playoffs, no doubt. Top 3 finish, potentially, or top 4 finish because of the head-to-head. And then a lot of pressure on 6 targets in the next game.
Man, the dominance right now for Panic is just incredibly strange, but Karma, he's playing out of his skin, and we know already what the best from him looks like. Oh, the timing. Can't win that battle. Oda goes for the sneak down below. It works. He gets a kill onto Karma. I think Bliss have caught on into the way that Karma's getting inside of the building so quickly, so easily.
I still reckon Karma had first shot there and just didn't land the headshot. So I would argue even there he was a little bit unlucky. I mean, again, maybe Oda had sound cue, so... But yeah, they read into it well. Good positioning. Big opener there for Bliss, and we'll alleviate a lot of that lurk pressure now for the rest of the team. They don't have to be as conscious of watching every single place around the map at all times now. And with the double down from Brendo, it will be more than likely a 3-3 half.
Yeah, not ever yet. Sean's been having a great performance as well. 6 and 3. Still have the Candelas of River that can help facilitate a bit of map control, try and take some positioning. Getting a little bit of usage out of this drone in terms of information for Sean rather than util denial. No one makes, well, short work of that, and Brendo does get the kill. Very difficult now for Sean and River. 2 versus 5, 90 seconds. Oh, he spotted him. Hello. No, never mind. Guess he wasn't watching over towards the main breach in towards office, and it's an easy kill for Weatherballs. Shot now by himself, top library. In a 1 versus 5. We have seen 1 ace so far in this game already. Brendo in the opening round picked up all 5 kills, but not in this kind of position, not with this difficulty. 60 seconds left, and at this point, not much that Shonk can really do. And as you said before, it very well should be 3-3.
Yeah, good response from Bliss in this round, not letting things spiral too much, and even half, they'll still walk away with that happy. Heading into the night, approximately 80% defensive win rate, so a little bit stunned in that regard. We would anticipate a 4-2 or a 5-1 in most instances, but 3-3 is still respectable, especially when taken into account that it is Chalet. Sean able to find 1. 30 seconds on the clock. Being pinged out now on the BPC. Diffuser over towards that dining hall. Sage feeds another. Nitro to respond, but he survives. Good attempt from Sean, but never going to win that one. Oda starts the round, he ends it, and with it, a 3-3 half.
Yeah, and I don't think Bliss by any means would be nervous or worried with the performance so far. I mean, you got to kind of just tip your hat off to Karma. As a collective team, I'd like to think that they kind of understand that Karma's the linchpin here for Panic. Okay, figure out how is he entering. He's entering quick. Where's he doing that? Basement. All right, Oda, off you go. Shut him down. And I think that was pretty much the goal of this lurk down below in basement from Oda to begin with on the Fenrir. Find Karma, get the kill, shut him down. And with that, it's no surprise the round then fell away pretty comfortably for Panic. And 3-3 though, certainly the kind of half I think Panic should be pretty happy with. Now onto the defense. Still ever a chance they could pull off a miraculous upset here on the final play of the group stage of the Oceania League. We'll take a mighty effort though. Bliss are obviously very prominent on the attack in this region.
I mean, Panic are one of those teams, and Sean has said it in the interview, it's a very much on the day kind of team where sometimes their performances aren't great, and from round 1 they can sort of know that it's not going to be their play day. And I think though right now they'll be relatively confident. There is that background pressure. They're unable to get any points in this game. They're at the mercy of 6 targets in the next match against Man LFO. They'll only have a 1-round buffer, and so any win from 6T would see them drop down into the bottom 2. And with how they're playing so far, and with Karma, you know, such a star performer, even Shont doing well in this particular match, I don't think it would really do the team justice finishing in the bottom 2, to be frank. But a big opportunity, big challenge that awaits them here in the second half.
Interesting, they just straight away track Karma.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to play it.
Yeah, I think this is a really good strategy. If you've got kind of that one superstar on the other team, you can kind of just track him, force him to not really go for any kind of lurk roam play. And even right now, this information that is over towards bedroom piano side, I mean, that's big information for Bliss. It means that you know that Karma's not lurking somewhere. He isn't going to be contested until he gets to site. So you can clear top library into library itself. Don't have to worry about where that Malusi is. Still have to be mindful, of course, of where the other players are holding and contesting.
I mean, it really tests your mettle as a defensive unit because, in a way, you can actually use that information against the attack. If you replace Karma's position with someone who can adequately find frags off-site and pressure off the objective, which is Karma's usual role, you can kind of mitigate that. He's been targeted again.
Yeah, I think it'll stay that way.
May as well. Just track him the entire round, put him on a leash.
Now, to be fair, of course, the Deimos has to be mindful. Sage will play a very defensive role here. I don't think he's ever going to look to set foot inside of the building. It's very much, right now, the goal of Sage is to just call out where Karma is. I must say that is the ultimate respect, though, when Team Bliss are putting that much stock into denying a particular player. Karma's not really going to be able to do a whole lot here, but just kind of sit site, eventually play super defensive. He can hold these power positions like Piano if there's a couple of keeper barriers still there, of which there is one. Real is close by. No more in the back pocket, though. 60 seconds left, still 5v5. I mean, what Bliss have kind of done, at least they still get main bridge. They know where Karma is. He's on site. They know pretty much everyone's probably going to be on site. They get a bit of... But no, not really. Actually, good numbers down below for Panic. I kind of like Panic's position here. And a good swing, and it gets... Well, it's Karma. You can track him all you like, but he is still on site, and you will eventually have to deal with him. But he gets way over Salas. Jigsaw position never got cleared. Sage gets a free kill. Fisher guy's going to get themselves a plant. Swing out from Owen. He'd already made his way in. Knows that his Piano. Know that they're all in office. You're the last one alive. And Bliss, far too clinical in the late round execution.
Yeah, clean. Good work from Bliss. Really good value extracted from the Deimos. Karma put into a couple of precarious positions, and despite finding that pick onto Brendo, I don't think Panic had a great read onto the actual objective itself in that plant win condition. So he went venturing, got caught out. The rest of the team very deep in back lines, not much they could do, and I think there was a bit of pressure that was also dealt with pretty handsomely by Team Bliss. So good work from the attack. That Deimos was incredibly effective. I feel like we haven't seen much effective Deimos usage at all, at least in the regions we've covered so far for this first stage of 2024, but that was a really good example there of Sage just death marking by far and away the best player on the team, sitting on the roof, relaying that information to others, and oddly enough, he actually still had one in the pocket very late in the round, and they would have just used that the second they were going to go for the plant or in the post anyway.
Yeah, and in some ways, it's kind of like a roam denial. Now, mind you, if that ever were to become somewhat of a strategy, you'd also probably have to start banning mute if you really wanted to play, because otherwise, defenders can just bring mute and say to Karma, hey, anytime you get tracked, just go sit at mute jammer. But it still does its objective. I guess like the main sense for me, from Bliss's perspective, is we don't want him roaming. We don't want him holding powerful off-angle positions or catching us off guard or looking to deny entry positions. He's pretty much forced to sit like deep sight. So you're taking the top fragger and basically turning him to a side anchor.
Yeah. There is the downside though. Sage does have to, or almost always will have to sit a long way away in the back line or the roof, because he gets pinged out too. Wettable shot up, but survives. They don't bring the Deimos this time around, but we do see Zero in play, so info gathering here from the old Team Bliss will be still very prominent. Trophy info. Fish might want to look to take that ground or facilitate an entry from Sage through Solar. Another one in Master Bedroom as well. And as you can see, those Sam Cams quite tricky to spot. Doesn't matter though. Owen still wins that fight.
Oh, hello.
Grenades in response to force him out, get that kill. He would have died to trophy window anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's just beautiful play from Bliss. There's not much he could do. First frag grenade, to be fair, he wasn't standing on. Second one he was, and then that one was forcing him to go into the first one. Nothing he could really do, as you said, as well, with trophy window just being watched. He did get his one. If you're going to stay in that position and hold it in the first place, he's got to at least get one. He did. Well done to Owen. 4 versus 3.
Good start on the defense here for Panic, looking to try and get this scoreboard even again. 7-6 as well for Oda. Started a little slow, but he has been able to start picking up the pace a bit. Minute 20. Down to 3 players for Bliss. What can they cook up here to get this round back into a good position? Because right now, Panic are certainly leading this 8th round.
I think Brendo really is keen to get him West main. Wet trophy, get Sage up above. There is Wet. Could have maybe won that fight, spots the leg. Knows there's 2 in towards B, but it's Real as elsewhere to double down. Wettables with the ACOG though, formulates a response, but the rest of his team falls. 1 versus 3, round over. Good work there from Panic. Despite the initial clear and the initial trade from Team Bliss, elsewhere kind of fell apart a little bit.
What was the plan there for Bliss? I mean, I get in that situation, you're playing as a 3-man. So you're not following plan A at that point.
We didn't get to see what happened after the solo clear. At that point, 4v4. Team Bliss then lose the next fight, an isolated fight somewhere around the map. I think it was Real that got it, if I remember correctly. But yeah. Good work from Panic. It's very easy in those kinds of positions, and we see it time and time again, where you might have, let's say, like a 1-player advantage, still with plenty of time, and Bliss are given an opportunity to cook something up. They probably undercooked a little bit in that previous round. There was maybe an opportunity to take a bit more space above and whatnot, and force Panic into the contest, but still Panic did everything right. Can't take it away from them. 4-4 scoreline. Karma onto the Vigil this time around. You see the Deimos repick from Oda, but will he stick?
5 seconds to insertion.
Elects to in the end, as opposed
Attackers are moving out to locate a
to
bomb
playing
and
something
defuse it.
else. Ying also available here, so bit of a change up from the attack. All eyes for me though on this early interaction.
Yeah, I mean, look at the
between Karma and
dislodge.
Oda.
You got the Dokkaebi, you got the Ying, you got the Deimos. You can really dislodge a lot of positions here. The Yana is good as well for finding information without really any repercussion on the Gemini. We don't really see Yana as much these days. But I would imagine this lineup says to me it's all about finding Karma. He's on the Vigil, he's roaming. We want to find him. Sage again, kind of emulating what we saw from Karma inside of that first half. Entry, big garage, drone, move ahead, clear basement. That's a big role to play on the buck for Sage. Karma actually makes his way back up top library, gets aggressive outside Jigsaw. He did spot that repel at the last second outside bathroom. Double repel in Solar quick as well. What information did they go off there? Maybe sensing a bit of a roam game off site. Bliss, though, caught with their pants down because everyone is on site. One inside a closet. Fisho, good swing. Does get the kill and does have the kit. Oda elsewhere as well does also double down for Bliss. They can go for the plant, but one inside of office will make it tricky still for Fisher Guy. Inside a bathroom, information that can get relayed. Wettables now with the repel entry. Do they just go for an office plant at this point? Maybe play outside of Ego. I'm not too sure where Fisher's going to want to try and stick, but Wettables in a good position to watch any kind of push coming in from the Solar side, and there's no denial. Shot is off with that Nitrous Cell. That plan has gone down, and this is a very tricky post play now for Panic in the 2-on-2.
Real has been sitting inside a bathroom for such a long period of time. One crosses, another baits, and he pushes forward, so he's taken some space. We'll now wait for Shant to look for the trade, but Wettables will cut the first down. Reelers needs to respond, and he does.
He knows.
Fisher's a long way away.
He's got yellow ping. He's got yellow ping information. You got to hunt down this kill pretty quickly because he's going to get onto the kit. Reelers, pick up the pace. He doesn't shoot. That was just a little bit awkward.
Yeah, Reelers played super static throughout that late round there. He didn't want to give away his life for free in case anyone lurked through Piano in towards bathroom. Unfortunately for him, it then meant that Fisho was given free reign to literally just run around the objective and find that off-meta plant, which meant that the Nitro down below didn't meet its mark. He also got that pick there, had a good read. Owen was just trying to play for life and time. But, yeah, couple of misplays there.
That was some amazing replays. Well done, Nuttery. That was insane.
Yeah, it's pretty clean.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
I jest. 4 to 5. Certainly around though, that Panic will be spewing because they could have been up 5-4. They could have been on break point. They could have been 1 round away from an OT position. Now they're going to have to do this the hard way. They essentially need 3 rounds in a row for this to not go to overtime. 2 rounds at minimum though. And a reminder, of course, an overtime loss for Panic doesn't really do them a world of good. Although, admittedly, it does help. No, it doesn't help at all, does it? Because even an overtime win for 6 targets,
5 seconds remaining.
where would that put them with an OT loss for Panic? Would that at least help them in that?
It would put them even on points.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
An OT loss for Panic puts them to 9, and then an OT win for 6 targets also puts them on 9.
Yeah, so it really does nothing. Must win, Panic. Or hope that the final game of the night goes their way with a man LFO win of any kind. Change up in terms of the operator strategy for Team Bliss now.
They brought back the sense. It's SI PTSD.
Brava, the Blitz, the Glaz, the Sens.
Oh,
And
no.
I imagine this is just going to be pretty swift from them.
Well, the Glacier should be really effective. We know into the sense wall, it's really good. You can be mobile. It's really just waiting for that right time to hit this. River and Sean are on site to deny. One isolated over towards Mud.
Here we go.
Let's see if it works.
So Aria, no one's actually playing bar stock. I mean, Sean will slip back into it. There's the jump in now from Wettables, rush in towards bar, but caught. Probably wondering why River's even in that position. It's a bit of an off-angle position on side bar. Sean finds a second as well with the Nitrocell and then the kill onto Oda. This plant has just fallen apart at the seams. Wow. Significantly defended by Panic. Did not put a foot wrong. Should have been flawless. Sage did find a nice kill on the big entry, the big window entry into Mez, but wow, that strategy's got ripped apart.
Yeah. I don't think
none of the areas worked. The Blitz didn't work. The Sens didn't work. The Glaz didn't work.
Yeah. Panic were just able to isolate each position. The timing, I think, was maybe a little bit off there from Bliss. There's no diffuser pressure either, so Panic didn't really ultimately need to even reposition themselves. Just ensure that each entry point in towards objective was covered. Clearly it was. That sense win rate at SI for Bliss was really low. I kept mentioning it.
I knew you were going to mention that.
I think it was like 30-something% win rate.
It was low.
And they played it quite a bit, and it just never really worked. But hey,
I'm pretty sure it worked one time, though, in that last game.
Yeah. Look, if there's any time to experiment for Bliss and have some fun, it is this game. So I'm not going to go in on them for that. It's just silly.
The way I always kind of look at it is the idea is certainly sound. I think you can clearly see where it can work. The execution of it obviously wasn't the greatest, but Panic, I think themselves deserve the plaudits there.
Oh, 100%. Killing the Blitz there right at the very beginning was a big condition for them.
Yep.
So, yeah.
You kill that player bar stock with the Blitz. That's really the biggest win condition there. Is probably the Blitz even more than the Sens and the Glaz. You kill that player bar stock. Then it's a retake coming in from Library Hallway. That's difficult because of the Sens ROU plus the Glaz. Yeah, it's always going to be tricky. They deal with it. 5-5 into the 11th round now. It's break point. Panic. Oh my goodness. Are they on the verge of pulling off the upset of the stage? Because it really would be. And on the final play day in group stage 2, and to solidify them a position in the top 6. And I'm pretty certain would this mean that for 6 targets, they'd be locked bottom 2 with a regulation Panic win.
They can knock CS out now.
Can they? Okay.
Trailing by 2 points.
Yep. So it would just lock in Panic.
But they would need a regulation win.
Yeah.
6-2.
Massive round EE1D called again by Fisho. 2 used early. Watching Karma just fall back to site here. Checks out West main. Window is still barricaded. A couple of tracks as well. The Inox scanner being utilized by Oda. Following in the footpath of Karma and Sean as they run around. Both 12 and 6. Both have been amazing. There's probably a big reason why Panic are actually in this game at this level. It's Karma doing his thing, but he's also got his Robin to do his own Batman. Sean is having a tremendous game. Once again, we'll get tracked and pinged by the Inox scanner of Oda. Will be the final one on the Jackal. Brendo with the OP kill onto Owen. Smoke gone. Hit through one gas babe.
Oh.
There's a gun barrel sticking out. Fisher guy couldn't get the kill though. Inside the trophies, top stairs was Karma. Holding this solid position, maybe expecting a bit of a response outside bathroom. Minute 20. There's the swing though from Piano side. He's very much anticipating a lot of pressure. Needs some help. Needs to just be relieved of this pressure. Gets the kill onto Sage. Then he goes for the drop, knowing one's going to be outside trophy. Wedderpool's half health. Almost lost his life. Red ping intel into Solid didn't matter. The fact that the default camera was left up did not matter. River now by himself in a 1 versus 3 shot on the floor. And eventually Bliss will overcome Panic and send this to match point Team Bliss 6-5. Panic will need to force overtime.
Yeah, the top floor clear there from Team Bliss at the beginning. Onto Karma wasn't phenomenal. You could see the theory behind timing the swing from Piano onto Karma. The idea being that he was flashed. Unfortunately for Team Bliss, the flashes didn't actually land, and so Karma was able to see them, get that pick. Eventually, though, then forced out. And as you would anticipate from a high-level team such as Bliss, they had the trophy window held. Karma almost still winning that fight, but regardless, it was unfavored. Team Bliss win it out, ultimately then compound the round. Top four cleared, round over.
I've placed Banshee.
Only one team has been able to take 5 rounds off Team Bliss. It was actually 6 for Odeon when they sent it to overtime last week. Of course, lost that one on border. Panic looking to be just the second team to be able to take points off of Bliss. One more opportunity and on the defense. They bring 3 Nitrocells and a big change up for Team Bliss. Thought about the Montang. Thought better of it. And a big match point, and it's an immediate kill. Brendo takes out Karma, and with that could be taking out the heart and soul of Panic Esports. Goes for the spawn peak in a match point round, and Karma loses.
And if you're a 6 Targets fan or player right now, you are the biggest Bliss fan imaginable.
As if he goes for that. The ball's on Karma.
Yep. Huge condition.
I thought they were going to play this safe. Brando switched on, ready for it. Oh, the Mozzie's tracked. They could go for a big pinch here. Barstock, yellow ping information for Sean. Oda gets caught from behind. Oh, he's still getting caught. Oh. It's a push in, Reelers.
Where did he come from?
Oh, yeah, where did he go? I think he was the one who originally shot and just kept swinging. I just don't think he ever stopped. And Oda had no idea where he got shot from.
And Sean gets out.
Sean gets away. That's a big moment of the round. Lag. I mean, Oda did just stand still. I'm not going to lie. I did notice that. I think there was a moment there.
I think it was just brain lag.
But yeah, the question is it human error? I'm not too sure. Maybe a bit of both.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way, we move on. It's a 4 versus 4. The round is back alive for Panic. And off the back of that play from Reelers. And Shot got away. And they still have 2 Nitrocells. No Karma, no worries could be the play.
Minute 30, office wall stalled out off the back of the mutes from Owen, who in the meantime is able to find a kill onto Sage. Bliss now under a little bit of pressure, despite finding one of the most dangerous players in the league right off the rip.
Yeah,
they themselves now at the disadvantage. BPC hacked. Oh!
What?
Shot finds him through the hatch. Brendo was exposed. Are you serious?
There's no way he's on a drone there with a hatch down below being exposed.
What is going on?
Some very critical errors from Team Bliss in this match point round is giving Panic a huge lifeline. And a flank from Shot, it's all but perfect. Fisher's by himself in a 1 versus 4 at the default half-wall position. Loses to Owen. We go to overtime, and Owen is pumped. Just the second team this stage to deny all 3 points away from Team Bliss. And we will get a technical. I mean, Oda's still claiming server lag, but no one else in the server was lagging.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'll give him the benefit.
It definitely looked like he had
Oda.
some kind of packer loss or something.
I noticed it pretty quickly. He did
Yeah,
just kind of,
yeah,
he's on a treadmill. I don't think it's server lag though, Oda. I do think it was probably just you. Sorry to say.
I'll be honest, I think he dies there anyway, unless he gets
I don't know. To be fair, because he's treadmilling there, we don't know if he's actually scanning towards the bar doorway.
Yeah.
Like, if he is, then he's fine. If he's not, then he's probably dead.
Anyway, I mean, I think that round is a really good continuation of the storyline that we keep peddling, which is this Karma or bust? Karma dies in the first 10
Dev is the one that said it's Karma Esports.
Well, Karma dies in the first 10 seconds of the round.
And they didn't need him.
And they still win it. Regardless of what happened to Oda, I think that was kind of irrelevant, ultimately. Had he have been cleared organically anyway, regardless of extraneous circumstances, the rest of the round was super clean. Like, they didn't put a foot wrong. Panic. So, good work from them.
It was a good round. It really was. And I think that you could argue maybe a little error as well from Brendo. Droning right next to the hatch. Very strange. Gets caught. Good angle found. And probably a credit again, though, to Panic. Because even in that moment, Brendo, he's positioning there at the hatch. That still has to get punished. Someone from Panic still has to have the balls to even go for that kind of play and anticipate maybe I can get into a position where I catch them through the hatch. They're not quite ready for it, and it works. It's a really good standstill defense. Shot as well with the fireplace flank. Pretty common when it does come to office and bedroom that you have someone. So where's the flank watch? Even in that moment, they don't have fireplace stairs being watched. Got 2 players on the mezzanine. I mean, at that point, yes, you're only down to 2 players, and I guess that's the main reason for it. But vulnerable. Just a little bit vulnerable. And now that's 2 games in the space of a week. Are there cracks appearing in Team Bliss's armor heading to the playoffs, or is it just best of 1 shenanigans?
Yeah. BO1 shenanigans.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like, Jake, we are going to have
It sounds like apparently it is server lag. I'm blaming Oda for this one. Oda, you're sending us to a break. You're sending us to a rehost. When we come back, hopefully you can get the win.
I feel like you've started off easy, but this ain't easy.
I know the backdrop. I'll go Oregon security. That's probably way off.
I want to say the security room on Consulate.
Doesn't seem like it could be anywhere else. I'm gonna stick bank lockers, like basement lockers.
Well, I want to say like lockers on bank, but I'm not 100% confident on that answer. Oh, it fucking is.
How are you meant to get that? Like, Oregon?
Oh, lovely.
Skyscraper helipad.
Yeah, this one's not easy. This is Chalet. We're gonna call it Rocks. I was never getting that one.
You're just gonna put a drone there, but
Jesus, they are hard.
This is Bunker Blue, Oregon.
all right, these are hard. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's Oregon, like outside bunker.
Oh, this is Oregon bunker.
This one's Oregon, and it's outside bunker. Now we're just looking at walls.
Oregon again. Would it be White Stairs? Yeah, no, this is White Stairs. This is Freezer Stairs, Oregon.
It's a brick wall. Do I get a point for that?
I just want to go with Oregon again. I'm just gonna go freezer. Like I think it's like looking up the staircase. Bank stockroom.
Oh, this is on bank, and I think this is on the main stairs. I mean, the map's bank.
This is this is bank in square, like the bottom.
Bank stockroom.
They're pretty much the same.
I think that's bank again in garage.
This is garage bank.
That's bank again. I don't know where it is. Maybe garage?
No, this is bank garage. Bank garage.
Yes. I was thinking concealing.
I didn't even know you could get your drone up there.
I'm on a roll now. Never mind.
Chalet dining room. There's no way anyone's getting that.
I'm gonna guess kitchen, Nighthaven Labs. Skyscraper kitchen.
Oh, dude, they are hard this time.
Oh, this is border. The drone is in tellers, looking through the teller's drone into bathroom.
Well, this is the bathroom drone hole on border.
That's border. Tellers like drone hole to bathroom.
This is clubhouse.
This is also border. I want to say the waiting room.
No, it's definitely border. Actually, I like that top right little pattern. Maybe like break room and border.
Like you're showing me walls here.
This is in border. I think it's like on the radio next to like the office window.
Border in tellers. Oh, at least I got the map right. This is clubhouse in supremacists.
This is logistics clubhouse.
Logistics?
We have a call out exactly for that head.
Our team calls that supremacists.
Is this clubhouse strip club?
Clubhouse strip. It's club again in strip.
I have no idea. I'm gonna say I have no idea.
What is this? What is this?
Oh my gosh. Surely no one's got this one.
Cafe Meatloaf.
Oh, wait, no. I think it's Clubhouse in the meat room.
Oh, this one's easy. This is Freezer. Clubhouse.
Like, I was right, but it was just the wrong map.
Yeah, it's Cafe Reading.
This is Cafe... Reading, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go cafe cigar or piano cigar. Okay, I'll stick the piano windows.
This is where Deptra plays. Reading.
Oh shit.
This is games on Oregon.
Oregon Games Room. The foosball table.
That is Oregon, and that's in the foosball table.
I don't know what normal teams call it. We call it. Nah, I don't know.
I put my Valve camps on this, so how do I not know what the map is?
Nah, I have no clue.
I'm just gonna guess border. I have no idea what room.
I feel like, yeah, it has to be border. I don't know. Oh, no, this is border armory, I think.
Consulate, maybe? I didn't even know those were there.
This is my game. I don't lose this.
Jeff the goat, huh?
Well, Oda got his wish, he got his way. We had the rehost take place to fix whatever errors were taking place. Hopefully, for Bliss's sake, it can fix a little bit more than just that, their gameplay. Questionable so far here on Chalet, 6-6 scoreline. Panic with double attack in overtime. Probably doesn't bode too well with Bliss having double defense. And we head to Snow Wine to begin here on overtime again. Just the second time this stage, because it's the second time in a week. That is concerning. Last Monday, now this Monday.
Maybe it's just a case of the Monday blues, Jake.
I have the Monday blues every Monday with Rob J Monday.
Well, luckily, I believe the grand final is scheduled for the Tuesday, so they should be
right,
okay.
cool. Well, you know what they say about Tuesdays and special teams?
Special teams. Special please, special please.
Well, right now, honestly, Team Bliss not looking all that special, all that crash shot. Panic are, though. It's been the Shant and it's been the Karma show. No surprise with Karmas, but Shant has been a pleasant surprise for Panic. I mean, they've all been playing really well. Double Vulcan canister towards default plant, in towards Wine.
5 seconds left before insertion.
So we were quickly just running the numbers again and reiterating. An overtime loss of Panic essentially does nothing. It wouldn't help them with head-to-head. It wouldn't really change too many permutations in the final game after this. But an overtime win will lock them in to top 6.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different situations, and there's even more when it comes to round differential. So we don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole.
Keep it simple. Win, and you're in.
Yeah.
That's
a loss, and it might not be enough, depending on how 6 targets plays tonight. And for Circular Spheres as well, if Panic wins, Circular Spheres are then the team under threat.
Yeah, exactly. It's all happening here on the final play of the Oceanic group stage. Reelers on the Blitz. Main breach opened up, and they're going just for the run. Straight in towards Boiler, straight in towards Wine. Reelers ducks on down. Vulcan canisters don't get blown, pulls out the pistol. This is his life shot will go. Same with Karma. It's a triple threat, triple kill into the quad. No, Oda stole that one into Owen. River, the solo now to 1v5, and it's flawless just like that from Team Bliss. Well, that was rapid. Hey, quick little rehost, all is fixed, all is well, and Bliss now will take themselves overtime match point.
Disaster for Panic. Looking to aggress. Smashed down by Wettables.
Imagine you get eliminated from playoffs on the final day of group stage after taking Bliss to OT. Only the second team this stage to do that.
Well, they don't get eliminated automatically if they lose.
No, they don't. But they're in that. It's out
but
of their
they will
hands.
be very much
They will
watching
be
the final game.
Look, I'll tell you what, there'll be some Chef Jeff fans, that's for sure. He loves some Chefy Jeffy.
Oh, for sure. Do you want your fate in the hands of Chef, though? That's the question. Probably not.
I think Chef would say yes. Absolutely. Maybe that'll be on the whiteboard tonight. I'm very curious to see what we get from him. 6-7, Panic. On the defense, they've actually looked really sound. Now, last time out on the defense, it was actually Karma. They went for the spawn peak kill. I believe that was Library side and lost his life pretty quickly to Brendo, who was switched on. Just have an inkling that Karma won't go for that kind of play again, although as he does linger towards Mud. Also just scanning for any potential drones. Leaves that barricaded. Makes his way towards Library Stairs for the BPC, which stands for Bulletproof Camera. And he is still in Mud, and I'm still a little cautious of any potential shenanigans that Karma might be up to here. He is required. Absolutely. And even though they won that previous round without him, I don't know if you want to be making that a trend. And it's the Sens once again. Good news for Panic.
It pains me inside. As much as I keep ragging on it, I want to see it work. I think Sens can be a phenomenal operator in the right circumstances. Intriguing they don't bring the Glaz to complement it, though, this time around. So I'm intrigued to see where they're actually going to deploy those walls. Could be to gain space off-site, but I assume it's going to be the same through Drone Hall for half wall plant. That would be my assumption. Bliss are taking ground elsewhere. Panic to contest inside of Dining, though. Sage off the back of the scan can push forward. Fisho does get a read on that Dining hold. I'm assuming there will be some horizontal pressure in towards that position.
I think they're just faking it. I would imagine they're just faking it. Maybe even fake out a Nitrocell from Barstock, but Shant doesn't deliver. Fisho is delivering a little bit of pressure. Shant does find an opening kill, actually. That's Weddable's taken off the board. No longer available in that Dockerby. Brendo just trying to poke and prod from Dining. Odo towards Jigsaw Belk. Flash in towards top library with the entry in towards Piano.
Well, top's clear. Look, we can see all of those blue outlines are on the same floor. So Team Bliss will identify that quite quickly here. Take this space.
They don't have library stairs control, though. Owen's still holding down below on the Fenrir.
They don't have vert potential either. No buff, no sledge.
That is an interesting prone play there from River inside of Bar. This is certainly, though, the kind of site where it's difficult to fit all 5 players. Going to have to find little off-angle positions. Look at that. I believe that would be Brendo. 50 seconds left in this round. Panic looking to keep themselves alive. It is Sage that finds the kill onto Karma. Swing from Oda is perfect. He's had a great game. Started a little bit slow, but he's gotten really hot. And Brendo does win that battle against River, who was prone inside a bar. Down to Shant and Reelers. That's 1 on the board. 2 in the round for Shant. 30 seconds left. Bit of red ping information. Oda's low, but he finds the kill. It's a big stand-up moment from Oda. The going has got tough, but he's got going. And Reelers now by himself. Red ping information off the BPC, but Brendo swings for just 1 more. Well, the rehost was required in the end for Team Bliss as they picked up the pieces. After allowing Panic to send this game to overtime, they just shifted up a gear, or 2, to be honest. Very clinical in OT to close this one out. Just the 2nd time this stage, but in both instances, I believe 8-6. So when they did get pushed to the very limit, they always had a response for their opponents. For Panic, fortunately, it does mean fate is not going to be in their hands. They are not locked into the top 6. They will require a good result. That result being a 6 targets loss in the next game to come. Before we do get to that game, though, of course, back over to the desk.
Thank you very much for that, Xenox. Great game from Team Bliss. No, it actually wasn't a great game. It was just a game from Team Bliss. Panic really, really made that one close. And I think that really is a testament to how well Panic have done this stage, Dev. It's probably the best way to encapsulate what they've achieved so far in stage 1.
100%. I've been hugely impressed by this team. We said it in the opening play day when they played Man Esports on this very map. They didn't even push Man to overtime, and yet they could do that against Bliss here today. Huge achievement for them. Huge game from Karma, as always. A lot of big rounds where he just forced his way into the site and forced his team in with a fighting chance. I think it was about halfway through the game, we saw him on buck in that kitchen attack. He just sneaks in. And
that's a clip for sure.
Yeah.
That's going in the montage.
That is a karmatage. And yet there were a couple of rounds near the end, that final round, for example, where he dies early, has no impact on the team. And I think it really harks back to what we were saying. This is a really talented player, but a sword that I think needs a little bit of an edge on it, a little bit of honing to try and temper it into something that could be, in future, contending for one of the best players the region has produced, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he continues this level of consistency week in, week out, there is absolutely a case to be made. Mandy, overall, I mean, this has been... Again, we've set a phenomenal stage for Panic, but like it really has gone to showcase that this league has, for whatever reason, decided to overnight become competitive from 2nd to 7th.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with Panic coming into the region, like we really just writ them off like straight away. Like they were a very obvious outlier, and then they've come in, they've worked really hard. I think it's really obvious in the server the way that they're playing. They're definitely putting a lot of thought and practice behind it as well. Especially with Shant leading the team too. I feel like he's had a pretty strong impact in trying to train up these players. And I think, as a result, you get these like teams that we'd consider really bottom end to suddenly be fighting in the midfield. And then, of course, Kelt's Knights doing not so good probably helps our story a little bit here. But yeah, every team has looked competitive. And I think, the work of the off-season's really shown. All
right, well, it's time to welcome in our interviewee. It's Lagging Oda. Oda, how you doing, my friend? Look, okay.
Not good.
Before we start this, okay, well, then I'll start with a compliment, shall I? Before we start this, your hair's looking better, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Your hair's looking better. The gold chain is suiting. That's okay, because that's all I've got to say nice about what just happened then. No. Break it down for me, mate. That was coming into this game. We obviously had high hopes for Panic. We think that they've done well this stage, but definitely by no means did we think that they were going to be able to compete against Team Bliss. So my big question, and it's going to be as simple as anything, what happened?
What happened? I think we're complicating things, really. I feel like, they play basic Siege, just aggression. And we're either rotating or trying to big brain them, but we just need to get in their face and take gunfights, to be honest. But to be fair, I'll give it to them. They played some very good Siege. Like, I will give it to them. That was like some hectic shit.
Can you elaborate on that? Because we've been watching Panic this stage, and they looked a little bit rough around the edges at the start. The first game they played, they lost. Then they had some big upset wins. What's your take on this team and their trajectory?
I think they have some good gunners, like Karma, for instance. He's not scared to take a gunfight, which is good. He just needs to have the support, which I think he's getting this season. But I don't know, in that game, it felt like they had a different game plan where they kind of all wanted to play aggro and in our face. So, props to them for doing that. And, the results were there. They took a point off us. But in the other games, I think they're just playing with confidence, really. That's what new teams kind of lack. So, they're working together and playing with confidence.
Do you think that your mindset of the team changed midway through the game? Like, do you think that once you got into the game, you changed your mind on them and, thought they were more aggressive once you hit that? And if that did happen, who called that out in the middle of the game and actually made it apparent to the team?
We kind of knew how they're going to play. Like, we do scrim them. But every team's aggressive here. We don't underestimate people either. So, like, we kind of knew how they were going to be. It was more just like, we're just losing gunfights and overcomplicating things, really.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask again more detailed about that game, right? So obviously, bit of a tilter. You guys got pushed to overtime. We had that technical pause. Come back from the technical pause. You guys are probably, I would love you to elaborate, but I assume the vibes are not super high. You've just lost a point and you have to lock it out in overtime, but you come straight away and you win a flawless round. So talk me through like what goes on in a break like that and what can you learn from an experience like that going into what I'm sure could be some very tough games in playoffs and Manchester should you make it there?
Well, going into that game, it wasn't a must-win, so I feel like there was less pressure from us, but there's also the factor we don't have to win in a way. So maybe we'll just play in a bit like, who cares in a way. But, when we're losing rounds to a team like that, it's not really like, I don't know, we're not really depressed, really. It's more just like reset the mental and keep pushing through. And then, when you're lagging and then you go into a tech, which you can't actually talk in, like when you're in tech. So everyone's kind of just sitting there with bland faces. So no one's really depressed. It's just you literally can't talk to your teammates until you get back into the game. But yeah, once we got back into the game, we pretty much said, let's reset, let's simplify things. And then we got like the flawless rounds and whatnot.
It's obviously a nice way to end, but I mean, look, you're still flawless. That's all that matters, Oda. You're still flawless at the end of the stage. I would love to sit here and continue to talk to you, but we've got more important things to get to, unfortunately, for you. Do you have anything you want to say before we let you go?
Shout out Carney FPS on Twitch. That's my prodigy right there. And I hope Man Esports wins.
Wow. Don't we all? No, I actually hope 6 Targets wins, so you can get out of my broadcast, my friend. It was lovely to see you again, Oda. Take care, mate.
See you, Manic. I love you.
I love you more. Wow. That's my boo.
Damn.
That was really sweet.
That's my boo. That's my boo. Come to Melbourne, big fella. Let's get you on the desk.
So what is it you did before? Is that a euphemism?
Yeah,
or?
basically. We are unfortunately not seeing Bliss fly high at the end of their play days, unfortunately. They have now lost 2 points, and we are critical of those 2 points that they have lost. But Mandy, as he said at the end there, not must wins, not by any means wild. It's not a stretch of the imagination anymore. Team Bliss are just feeling pretty comfortable going into playoffs.
Yeah, I think so. I think, for Team Bliss, 2 points out of the so many, they essentially went flawless anyway. They have yet to have a team actually take them down in a map completely, which is a different story to last stage, right? Kelt's Knights somehow got the win off them, and that was a pretty big wake-up call back then.
Yep.
But this time around, they look smooth sailing. It's been comfy the whole way through.
It certainly has been. Really, this entire team has just continued to cruise on through, and I don't know if they're going to be, this is going to sound really rough, Dev, but I don't know if they're going to be tested to their fullest extent.
Yeah, and that's why I just think it's really good to have moments like this where they are tested a little bit, even if, it sounds weird, but something like, Oda getting a little bit of lag or a technical pause here or there, I think that's just so good for them. Trial by fire, you're losing to, in theory, the bottom team in the league, or what came as the bottom seed coming into this stage. I think it's just such good experience. Through adversity, they will improve, they will overcome, and that is what I think Bliss really need. They've had a lot of time, they know how to play the game, they played at a high level, they got 8th at SI, and I just think the goalposts have changed a little bit for their expectations, for our expectations of Team Bliss. Because a year ago, we didn't really know if they would be first. They went flawless, and then coming into stage 2, we're like, well, these guys have to be flawless. When they lost, we were worried about them, and now I think this is the Bliss that can finally make a big, big splash overseas.
Well, they certainly have already, haven't they? Top 8 at SI. Who knows what they may do if they get to Manchester, but there's a big if. Plenty more action to come before we crown a Manchester Major representative from the Oceanic region. We've got one more game. With this overtime loss, Panic now put incredible pressure on 6 Targets to win their game against Man LFO. We'll be back after this.